Today on the 50-pound brain, we're not cooking a cake, which was very good, by the way. Turned out great. Still eating it. So I told you I'd give you an update. There's the update. Cake was fantastic. Today we're working on a fender liner for the old Cobalt because it's cracked from whatever, plowing through snow. I have no idea, but it flaps and makes noise when going down the interstate. At interstate speeds, it starts to flapping and making a racket. So we're gonna fix it. Came over to see if I had any fiberglass repair stuff in the storage unit and figured I'd roust Higgins, start him up, get his fluids flowing. It's been a minute since he's been running, so it took him a second to wake up, but he came around. He's still purring like a kitten. So here's what we're looking at. The one edge is broken, cracked, but still attached. Right there by my right hand is completely broken off, but is another mount point for the fender liner onto the body of the car. So what we've got to do is completely reattach those two pieces and firm up the part that is still attached but cracked. Now what we don't want to do is build up the surface that mounts against the body of the car anymore, and that's what I'm pointing at now. So we're going to line that with aluminum tape to hold everything together, and fiberglass on the opposite side, because there's nothing out there. That's just the tire side of the liner. Now we're just cleaning it up so the tape sticks really well. Because it's got to hold everything in place until the fiberglass sets up. And those are the pieces that I said were completely broken off. Now we're just sizing up the aluminum tape. And I believe I've said this before, but if you're using the aluminum tape with the backing paper, you bend the tape toward itself. The aluminum will hold the bend, but the paper will not, and it'll separate from the aluminum. Make it easy to peel off. Now we're just struggling to get it in place and hold it tight until we can get fiberglass and the mat on there. This was the most difficult part because these two pieces were completely detached from the fender liner. Although the brakes were nice in the fact that they fit together well, it still was clumsy getting it to all stick together and then to stick it onto the fender liner. You saw the UPS guy come in while we were filming. There, we got it in place as good as we can. I add one more piece out toward the edge just because those two pieces are completely broken off of the fender. I need as much as I can to hold them together until the fiberglass is in place and set up. Now we're going to clean up the surfaces where we're going to fiberglass. Get all the old dirt. Actually not too bad, but we got to get all the old dirt off for the resin and the mat to bond. And then after we clean it, we're going to rough it up. Oh yeah, we're going to hit it with the heat gun. Make sure everything's dry. We don't want any water migrating out once we get the fiberglass in place. That'll guarantee a poor bond. Now we're roughing it up with this pretty coarse sandpaper. I don't remember exactly the number. But you need to make it good and rough for a good mechanical bond to the fender liner, because this is pretty smooth plastic. Here's our fiberglass repair set from AutoZone, not a sponsor. We cut a piece of mat down. Now we're just kind of sizing it up, because we don't even need that big of a piece for this little repair, but it'll do both. It'll do the repair on both sides. Now I'm just marking a fold line. With a Sharpie. Then I'm going to draw a cut line. And I'm going to cut the mat. And that'll be the repair patch for that side. And we're going to do the same thing for this side. Yeah, I figured out that for whatever reason my camera doesn't really like an external microphone when it's on the power cord versus the batteries. I don't know why. This is the first time I've ever done this. Now we're just sizing up our patch to match the job. Here's what we're going to do. Okay. I don't know why they still use these type of cans, because it has this lip that is just going to be horrible, because it always catches the liquid. You can't pour it hard enough, fast enough. Mixing ratios are 1 ounce of resin, 10 drops of hardener, 6 tablespoons of resin with a 1/4 teaspoon of hardener. So, since we're just kind of guessing at this, I'll do 14 drops. And then we're going to ruin this paintbrush right here by using it to mix. Because we have a pretty short working life on this stuff, but we got to get the edge. First we're going to soak it. Our repair areas. Get it covered. Both of them. we're going to put our patches in place. Where's our squeegee? And we're gonna hope you can see what's happening. We're going to hit it with another coat. Going to soak it again. And yes, there is a concern for gluing this to the table. I'm not, that is not lost on me. Okay, let's get the last little bit here on this mat. I hope you can see all this. And you can move this. You can edge sharp. This edge is sharp. Okay. Okay, we've got it flipped over so I don't glue it to the table. And now it's just got a cure. So we'll let it go all night and then see if it's assess the strength, or perceived strength, I guess would be a better way to say it. And if we need to do a second layer, we can. No big deal. I'll have to get another paintbrush because this one will be a squeegee. And yeah, we'll check on it tomorrow. All right, see you in a bit. All right, our fiberglass set up and looks good. But I don't think we need a second application. Oh, good, the heater shut off. So let me show you. All right, yeah. Oh yeah, she's good. We'll just have to trim up all these fuzzies. But yeah, it'll be ready to reinstall. East nice, east good. These scissors might work for this. Didn't work real well for cutting the raw fiber. But, yeah, maybe not. We'll see. One thing about fiberglass is that it does not bond to aluminum well at all. I had a drip on here. Oh, this seam came undone. But on this tape it comes right off. So if you needed to make a precision form, you can use aluminum to press it in place because it won't bond to aluminum for whatever reason. I used it when I had a VW, old Beetle, way back in the day, that floors were gone, which is pretty typical of the old Beetles. And so instead of right where the battery is on both sides in the back, it was just a hole. And so I just used a floor jack and a big piece of sheet aluminum, and then spread in my fiberglass all the way to the steel that was left of the floor. And once it's set up, that aluminum plate popped right off, but it kept it from sagging and dropping out of the hole, basically, because there was nothing to support it until it's set up. So yeah, just something to know that, yeah, it doesn't stick to aluminum, even this aluminum tape. There was a big run here on this edge, and I was really hoping that edge would have held better. We'll see what it does for us, because I got to drill a hole in it there too for the fastener. But still happy with how it came out. It's going to do the job. And yeah, we have another task at hand too. Had a request from a small businessman, Nathan, to make him a hitch, trailer hitch for his tricycle that he uses in his can collecting business. So we're going to do that next. So small businessman Nathan has a problem with his company vehicle. He needs a hitch to be able to attach a wagon. So we went to his site to get some measurements. Okay, so we need to know how wide. Just go from like there. Actually, just go on there. What are we looking at to the center of that bolt?
So it's about right there.
8 inches?
Yep.
Okay. And then go out to past the edge of the end of the tires here. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. I'm going to say 16 inches.
Okay.
Will give us plenty of clearance. Okay. So what's going to happen is we're just going to make it basically going to be a flat T like this.
Okay.
It's going to go between these two. We're going to have to take this basket stuff off.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go bolt to these two and rest on top of all this and stick out this far. Nice and simple.
Okay.
So this is what it's going to end up looking like when it's all done. Just need to find the center so we can locate our two mount holes, which are 8 inches between them. And then this sticks out 16 minimum, and we're going to put a hole here for the wagon to attach to. So our important dimension is the center of this, and this thing is 9 1/4, which I'm glad. I just kind of originally had the saw set up at 9, but I didn't know. I guess that would have given me enough margins for holes. I just wanted to make sure, so I moved the blade a little bit at the last minute and just eyeballed it. So 1/2 of 9 is 4 1/2. 1/2 of 1/4 is an 8. So 4/8 and 5/8. 4 5/8 is our center. I was hoping this would write gray, and it used to. All right, 4 5/8. Okay, and then 1 inch down. This is 2 inch flat stock. come in 5/8 of an inch, or we can just do this. Those are our two hole locations. Okay, we're using a center drill from the lathe to start this process. Alright, change of plans. Since my ultra precision measurements here put us a 1/16 of an inch off on center, we're going to make some slotted holes just to give it adjustability on the bike. So we're switching from the drill bit chuck to the collet and mill. Now we're just gonna back this out to make it a true slot. And now to figure 8. There's our slot. This is a 5/16 bolt, and it goes through real nice without too much wiggle. So he's good. Yeah, that'll do. So this other hole was 4 inches from center, so we're going to just hog it as is with this and see how the bolt fits through after the end mill goes through it, because I think we'll let that set up center, and then this will just be adjustable because of my poor initial measurement with my ultra calibrated tape measure. Now, one way of deburring a hole that I learned in aircraft battle damage school, and it really works better on aluminum than steel, but it will work on steel if you don't have a deburring tool. You can use a bigger drill bit than your hole, and it'll take off that edge. Now for this edge, I do have a deburring tool, but I wanted to show you that. For the slots, you deburr them with this tool. And even it has a hard time with steel. But it will do it. And keep it in there. Yep. That's all it is. I hope you can see that. I'm not getting too close, but do these. There we go. All right, we hit it on the wire wheel to get the mill scale off so we can weld the rest of our T on here on our center line. So we need to go hog a hole in the long bar for the trailer hitch. Let's do that. Alright, so what we're going to do now is go back to finding our centers. Four and 5/8 on this piece. There's a half 5/8. And then this is 1 inch. And then we're going to weld those two together. Oh wow, there's a big drop in this horrible little table. Alright, let me see if I can find something to put this on. So, put our shirt on. Keep the slag and UV rays from getting to us. I wish I brought my good welding helmet. I have this auto darkening thing from Hobo Freight. It'll do. Okay, gas is on. Alright, here we go. Down the feet a little bit. Turn up the heat. Whoa. That'll do. You just never know when you might be wanting to jump stuff with the trailer. And it's got to be able, the hitch has to be able to hold up all the way through the landing. And there's our continuous bead side after wire brushing. There's the two that I tacked and then joined together. This thing will need some paint where all the mill scale's gone. I'll be ready to turn over to my customer. Well, would you just look at it? It's beautiful. Yay! Alright. I'll give this to Nathan the Can Man tomorrow. And he can install it. He and his dad can install it and tell me how it works out.
All right, here we are with Nathan with our finished product, and now he's going to show us how to hook up his wagon to this new hitch. All right, buddy, hop on, see what it does.
Thank you, Mr. for helping me get a hitch for the wagon and for the tricycle and helping my business grow. And collecting more cans.
So another productive couple of days, and I had to do more mechanical stuff because I got so many questions about doing a cake video that which I can work on stuff and I can make a cake. I can do both. I'm multifaceted. Shrek said, like an onion, many layers. Hope you enjoyed this. I've never done fiberglass work on camera before. I hope that helps you doing whatever you're doing and realizing it's not as hard as you think. And I'm going to steal a line from Eric O at South Main Auto. If I can do it, you can do it. And that's pretty much the truth. So go out there and try. Get out in the shop and do something. Thanks for watching.